And now, dear God, being the God you are, speaking sure words as you do, and having just said this wonderful thing to me. Please, just one more thing. Bless my family. Keep your eye on them always.
Clay, and we won't call his alias, but anywho, he had this idea to talk to Aunt Donna, with Aunt Donna being the oldest of our generation. So I may go on mute so I can just hear it unless I got something to interject. But honey, your cousin, Aunt Donna, I call Aunt Donna, I call Reverend Cutting Clay. I think it's so the kids that know how to call people
right.
what they need to,
Right,
so right. Who you talking to, Donna? Look in the side.
I'm gonna talk to y'all.
Okay. Okay, you good. I've been trying to multitask. So I'm just curious, and then Clay's got it. Remember, Brother Clay, if you could go back to your oldest memory, and then Clay could take it from there. Your oldest, you don't have to reach too far back where it's gonna hurt your brain, but your oldest memory growing up. And one of my oldest memory, I'll start so you can come on with what you come on. I was maybe 6 or 7 years old, and the first time I stood on the couch and looked in the mirror, I started crying. And Mama came, we was in College Court. Mama said, "What is wrong with you, baby?" I said, "I got dots all over my face." I had no idea what those, because I'm not a mirror person. And she said, "Baby, that's what's called freckles. Your grandmother's got them, both of them. And your daddy's darker, but he's got them." And but that's one of my first memories, is like, oh my God, my face got dots all over it. So whoever wants to go next with a memory, and then we'll go from there.
Well, so, I mean, I can go back to age 2, believe it or not. I can go back to age 2. And that's a blessing to be able to go back to age 2. Of course, we lived on, at the time, I remember Ballard Street. I remember when cable was being built. You remember that, Charlene? You know?
I was too young. I'm the young one.
But you was born in 54. Just 2 years behind me.
I didn't wake up to life until about 10 years ago. So I remember. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, but I remember because cable had burned down, and they were rebuilding it in the early mid 50s, I guess. And so I remember cable being rebuilt. I remember, and Donna may remember this, worshiping and called the Brock Building. Remember that, Donna?
I remember the Brock building, but I can't.
Building.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cable was worshiping temporarily in the Brock Building, okay, while it was being rebuilt. And then when they finally finished the basement, we moved into the basement.
Yeah.
And started having church in the basement. Okay. So it just shows how poor we were and how desperate we were to get back in the building. We probably were paying rent at the Brock Building, but they moved into the basement, was having church down there while they finished upstairs. And I'm told, and I think that Sam Cooke actually came, and Soul Shirts came and performed at cable in the basement while they were rebuilding it.
Wow.
And you seem to remember. I don't remember Sam Cooke being there.
Yeah, but I was told that. I didn't remember that myself, but I was told that he came while they were in the basement.
Yeah. During some of that time you're talking about, I was in the hospital.
You'd have been about, if I was say 5, you were. If I was 5, you were at least 11 or 12, 11, something like that.
How old are you?
You're 70, what?
71.
So I'm 5 years older than you.
You're 6 years old. You were born in what, 1940, what, 4 or 5?
6.
46. You're 6 years older than me.
Well, I was in the hospital at age 5. And that literally took at least 2 years out of my life as far as what's going on from being in the hospital that long and then recuperating at home. You know, so a lot of stuff that happened during that time. And those years I was not out of it. My daddy, your uncle, was not keen on letting me out of the house.
Okay.
He always wanted me to stay still.
How old were, how did you know you had polio? How did that, what made you, did you just fall ill? Your legs wouldn't work when you knew you had polio?
I really don't know. I know I just got sick and they took me to the hospital and they said I had polio, but I don't remember if like my legs start hurting, stop operating properly, or if I know I had a high fever. I was told. Some of that stuff, I was so young. I can only go by what people told me. And there has to be something, though, you're right, that prompted them to take me to the hospital. That was the beginning of the plague. That was toward the end of the plague, but before there was a vaccine. So they were
They didn't have a vaccine yet. Yeah, the vaccine didn't come along when I was little.
All righty. So, Doogie, you want to go on? Because next thing I was thinking is a memory as a
Well, I'm
child.
telling you another memory. I'm telling you another memory. It's a couple minutes right fresh off my head. I remember going to Boston. I couldn't have been no more than about 3 at the best. Okay. Because when we came back, Daddy had a brand new car, a 1955 Buick. So I was born in 52. So I couldn't have been no more than 3, probably not quite 3, getting ready to turn 3. So I remember going to Boston, visiting my Aunt Beulah. My Aunt Beulah at the time could see at the time. Okay. So she could see my mother, my mama, my grandmother, and me and Mark went to see Aunt Beulah in Boston because her husband, Uncle Jimmy, was in the service and they were stationed in Boston. And my Aunt Laura was living with them at the time because Uncle John, her husband, was in the service. So she was living with them in Boston, and that must have been like 1955. But anyway, I remember going in the bathroom as a 2.5-year-old and locking myself in the bathroom and couldn't get out. So the fireman in Boston had to climb up the outside of the house, open the window, and open the lock and get me out of the bathroom. And my grandmother had just got a brand new set of dentures. She was more concerned about me flushing her new dentures down the toilet than me being locked in the bathroom. So don't let that boy flush my teeth down the toilet.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
So I could have been no more than about 2.5.
That's good stuff.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I can
get that. That's pretty traumatic. I did that last year. Flushed my own teeth down the toilet and did by mistake. Didn't know I had to go get some more. And so I've been through that personally. That's trauma.
It is so funny. It's so funny. I've got another question. Since you folks are a little older, your oldest memory or memory about Uncle Lewis? I just was
Mhm.
crazy. I never heard him talk much or say much, but it was something he would say. All it wasn't fine, fine. It was something, but
Yeah,
a
something like
memory,
that.
huh?
I
But you
love
know, the
when
reason we are
Gary.
all here, Charlene, the reason we are here is because of granddaddy relationship with Uncle Lewis. They were army buddies. They met in the army, World War
Ooh.
One. Okay, they were army buddies. So and the book got these memories, but they were over in the service over in Nice, France, NICE, France. They were in the service together over in World War One. Okay. And by the grace of God, France is probably the best place to be for black soldiers back then because they mistreated black soldiers. But Uncle Lewis and Granddaddy were army buddies from the Lexington area. They probably met over there, I think. This happened by chance because somebody from home had probably became fast friends in World War One in France. And at the time, Granddaddy was called Clarence Calloway. He was not Clarence Clayton Calloway. He added Clayton when he came back from World War One from France. He added that part to his name. But his greatest claim to fame from World War One was when he baptized, I think, over 500 people during while he was over at one time.
Wow.
Okay, but when he came back home, then of course Uncle Lewis hooked Grandy up with his little sister, whose name had to be Mary, and the rest is history.
And here we are. Here we are. That's good stuff. That is good stuff.
Higgins
So,
and Callaways.
Huh?
I said Higgins and Callaways.
Yeah.
So, do you remember any, Aunt Donna or Clay, any of Grandma's grandparents, parents, cousin them? I remember the name because I was asleep most of my life. Uncle Arch or Uncle Ark or something like that.
They were granddaddy's people.
Oh.
But
Do you remember?
Uncle
You remember
Arch.
them, Donna?
Yes. I remember Uncle Arch.
That was granddaddy's uncle, right?
Yes.
Was he a
Yes.
dark complected man?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And was the one Daddy was preaching.
That's when they was
he's
cussing.
the one- Yeah. I want to put that on. He stood up in church. And well, she can delete.
No, it's our story. I'm not going to.
No, go ahead and tell it. No, go ahead and tell it.
Pardon me. He said,
Yeah, go ahead and tell it.
preach, you SOB. He said, that's my GD nephew.
I wondered, did Granddaddy keep preaching or did he just like,
He
whoa?
probably did. I heard that story too.
Did.
And I heard that he had tears in his eye. He really was overcome with emotion. And he wasn't being disrespectful when he said that. He was just telling the truth.
That's just the way he talked.
He talked like that.
Every other word was like that.
So do you remember him? Do you remember him, Donna? Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember him. And I don't remember anybody else on Mama's side that I can think of.
Now, Uncle Art, now Granddaddy was
I heard her talk about them,
mm-hmm.
but I didn't meet any.
Now Granddaddy was a Rankin. His mom and them were Rankins. His daddy, of course, was a Calloway, but you don't know much about his side of the family much. But they were Rankins. I don't know what Uncle Arch was, if he was a Calloway or Rankin or what he was, but that was all on Granddaddy's side. They were not Higgins.
Really?
So where did Granddaddy come from? His state, his city? Was he Kentucky?
Yeah, Kentucky, Lexington area, around there somewhere.
Oh, okay. So how Calloway used to talk about West Virginia or something like that.
They just happened. They happened to have a church there. You know, he was a traveling preacher.
Oh, Granddaddy was.
Yeah, right. So my daddy was born in West Virginia, in Huntington, West Virginia, or Irvington, West Virginia. So I right side of Huntington. So that happened to be where Granddaddy was preaching at the time.
Okay.
So he was preaching at the time when Daddy was born in 1925. I
Hmm.
don't know what was Uncle Charles born, Charlene?
I tell you, you don't believe me. I don't know anything. I just know what I
Okay.
know.
Okay,
I
well,
don't know. Do you know, Aunt Donna, where Calloway was born?
Or city he was born. No, he wasn't born in Virginia.
in West Virginia,
Do
I
he?
don't think so. I'm not sure. But I never heard them mention that. I never heard them mention that Aunt Alice was born there too. So I think Daddy did have to be the one that was born while Granddaddy was pastoring over there.
So how
Yeah.
did we, I'm just curious, how did I get so light skinned? Was it white folks? I know they used to say somebody's Indian, Blackfoot Indian, or Red Indian.
Your daddy made that.
Charlene,